ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 32nd anniversary dinner for Center for Return. My name is Michael Remenek, and for the past 8 years, I have been the Master of Ceremonies for the Center for Return annual dinner. Every year, we work hard to bring you an amazing program, and I hope tonight will be just as inspiring as always. Please give us your undivided attention as we begin the program. All the speakers will share with me the role of Master of Ceremonies by introducing the next speaker. Without further ado, I present Mr. Jason Lerman.
My name is Jason Lerman. I am here as a participant with the Center for Return to give you some information about what the Center does. I first learned of the Center for Return on November 6th, 2009. I had just joined over 1 million of my fellow New Yorkers to witness the spectacle that was the ticker tape parade down the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan for the World Series champion New York Yankees. Feeling hungry after the parade, I figured I would drop into what was then the Broadway Cafe for a couple slices of kosher pizza. As I sat down to enjoy my order, I noticed the placemat. It described the Torah lunch classes being held at numerous locations around Manhattan by an organization called the Center for Return. Later on, I went to the organization's website to find out more. I'd been looking for an opportunity to further connect with Torah and Judaism in a way that would be convenient to my schedule. I grew up as a conservative Jew in the New Haven, Connecticut area. I attended public school throughout both elementary and high school. Starting in the 6th grade, I attended Hebrew school twice a week. After bar mitzvah, I went once a week to a supplemental program of Jewish education sponsored by the local Jewish Federation. Later, I attended New York University, where I was the treasurer of the Hillel chapter. Very shortly after graduating NYU, I attended a Birthright Israel trip. So I was interested in furthering my knowledge of Judaism. I called the office and spoke to some members of the CFR staff. They informed me of the programs and events Center for Return offered. We determined the best fit for me would be the weekly class at 25 Broadway. Since that time, I have done my best to attend the class as often as my schedule would allow. Those who think there are many organizations doing what the Center for Return is doing are mistaken. There is a center class 15 minutes from virtually anywhere people are working in large numbers in Manhattan. Over the years that I have participated in center classes and events, I have noticed that they involved a broad spectrum of every type of Jew. One common thread is the warm and welcoming environment that they provide. The Center is one of the few organizations that is as comfortable presenting to a class to 1 or 2 or 10 people as they are to a large audience of over 100, such as at their exciting yeshiva-like programs. Whenever I attend one, I appreciate the mastery of the subject demonstrated by the lecturers, as well as the way they make it relatable to everyone. Programs like this are perfect for someone like me, who went to public school and never attended yeshiva. I have also appreciated the chance to attend special events held by the Center over the years. Whether it's been baking my own matzah for the Seder at a real-life matzah bakery in Williamsburg, attending a Purim party, doing the mitzvah of eating in the sukkah, or attending the inspirational and uplifting Shabbatons at the Khan's beautiful home, it has inspired me to see the love and dedication shown by every member of the Khan family, as well as the rest of the CFR staff. They really care about every single Jew, and they have dedicated their lives to helping others and bringing them closer to Judaism. I once heard one of the lecturers at a center class talk about how Jewish history is a chain, and we are each links in that chain. We owe it both to those who have come before us and those who are coming after us to build as strong a link as possible. When I think of the fact that some of the greatest Torah scholars of the modern era, like Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik and Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, were Rabbi Kahn's teachers, and now he is my teacher, it is both uplifting and humbling to appreciate how fortunate I am to have a chance to be a link in the same chain. Thank you all so much. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Mrs. Beatrice Eisenman.
Good evening. I am Bea Eisenman, and as one of the honorees tonight, I would like to share with you some of my background in terms of living a Jewish life, Jewish and religious life. I grew up in Virginia, where we were the only religious family in town, which was quite typical of cities outside of New York at that time. My parents were raised in Europe with a typical strongly religious upbringing. Contrast that with my upbringing in Virginia, which was a religious desert. My father, a rabbi, and mother had to exert countless hours in trying to keep me and my 3 siblings religious. There were no day schools, no yeshivas, and no outreach organizations like the Center for Return. Jews wanted to be as secular as possible. The situation was so bad that my father, the rabbi of the city, moved our family to Detroit, Michigan. My parents were afraid we would marry non-Jews and leave Judaism altogether. It is deeply gratifying and meaningful to me that my children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren are all Shomrei Torah mitzvos. I also feel great pride that my children, Rabbi Avram and Miriam Kahn, have made bringing Jews back to Torah observance their life's mission. It is a great honor for me to be here tonight as guest of honor, and I thank all my family and friends who came to participate with me. Thank you all, and good evening. To introduce the next speaker, Mr. Eric Eppelbaum.
For the past 20 years, I have worked at Beth Israel Hospital as a biomedical engineering specialist, which means I install, calibrate, and maintain